American Truck Headquarters Studio at PayneAutomall.com.
And just like that, it's another Finally Friday edition. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Remember, we are at Radio para mí, Radio para mí for the Espanol Challenge. Go find the free app, Radio para mí, and listen on your smartphone. Jason Caterina from AccuWeather. Producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez, and since it is Friday, yes or no, Freddie? Yes? Mom, right? Freddie has been putting out fires all morning long. He forgot we got Mom coming up.
I'm seeing Jason put the degrees, the weather degrees where he's at. It's 4 degrees.
Oh,
oh my gosh.
Oh, well, you should have thought of that before you decided to live in what's in Western New York, upstate New York, right? Okay, we'll talk with Jason just a little bit. 7:06. The Supreme Court is allowing next year's primary election in Texas, to use new congressional maps that favor Republicans in Texas.
The maps are designed to pick up 5 more seats for the GOP. They were pushed by President Trump. Rice University political scientist Mark Jones says Texas opened a Pandora's box with a decision to pursue mid-decade redistricting that was not due to a court order. California, Missouri, and more states are doing this or moving in that direction.
This could be something where we start to see legislatures every 2 years look at the districts and see if they can get some partisan advantage out of redrawing the districts and do so.
The ruling was 6-3 with Justices Kagan, Sotomayor, and Brown-Jackson dissenting. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
City of McAllen is taking legal action against a nighttime establishment called Knox Nightclub that allegedly served alcohol to a group of minors before a deadly weekend crash this past weekend on Bicentennial. An 18-year-old woman is facing intoxication, manslaughter, and other charges connected to that deadly crash. The club has reportedly been cited multiple times for allowing underage drinking, and the City of McAllen lawsuit calling the business an imminent and ongoing danger to the public. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. With diabetes so prevalent in South Texas, here's a relevant report. At least 7 deaths might be linked to malfunctioning glucose monitors. Heads up.
The FDA says the monitors, manufactured by Abbott Diabetes Care, could be giving inaccurate low glucose readings, resulting in dangerous treatment decisions. The monitors include some Freestyle Libre 3 and Freestyle Libre 3 Plus models, and the problem could affect some 3 million devices. The company says it's gotten reports of more than 700 severe injuries and says it will replace the faulty monitors. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 7:08 on News Talk 710 KQRV. And right after AccuWeather, some medical advice on how to keep a balance this holiday season on all those carbs. And also another look at the biggest sport on the planet. Today's a big day. Freddie's, what time are you partying, Freddie? Like 11 o'clock in the morning? What time's the big party? But
that's when it starts, 11.
At 11.
So don't call me. Don't ask me to do anything.
Okay. We do have some recordings coming up at 11. So you're on your own, sir. It's 7:09. It is AccuWeather time. Yeah, I'm talking about soccer, by the way. Soccer. They're doing the group selection.
Football.
Football, you mean?
Yeah. Soccer. Yeah. In America, it's soccer. It is AccuWeather time. And I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. You never know. Unless you look, you might find the perfect gift for Christmas. Martin Farm and Ranch supply the best selection of Purina feed. Say hi to Dougie if you stop by. So let's look at current temperatures across the area. Still like low 50s, right? Low to mid 50s across the area right now. And
indeed.
The low again tonight, that would be somewhere in the like mid upper 50s for tonight.
Yeah.
So nice and cool today. Tell me about the weekend. What happens weekend and going into Monday? As far as temperatures.
Pretty quiet. Could have a couple of showers late tonight, then just mostly cloudy for Saturday. Mix of clouds and sun Sunday. It's going to warm up each day. Got a bit of a warming trend going on. Saturday, mid 70s, mid 80s Sunday. Front comes through Sunday night, and that's going to drop temperatures back to near 70 on Monday and mid 70s for the day on Tuesday. So some pleasant weather coming out of the weekend.
And next actual cold front. What do the computers tell you? A week and a half or Because you're keeping us nice and level next week. I noticed
Yeah,
that.
it's got all the way to Friday. It's looking mid and upper 70s,
Nice.
low
Very
80s.
nice.
Maybe
Very
mid 80s Thursday,
Okay.
upper 70s on Friday. So
Another punch of like nasty cold air. You seeing that on the computers? Another week and a half.
8 days out. Let's kick it out, say 15, and see what that
Well,
says.
that's quite a stretch. See if there's anything that's building up there.
Now I got to figure out which week we're looking at. Okay. So, the screen I'm looking at is like going back to the early 80s. It's like a DOS window. So, yeah.
Mommy, what is DOS?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
So let's see. There's Monday, next Friday, Saturday, a little rain, next Sunday, quiet. 80. I don't see anything dramatic 15 days out. So
all right.
Yeah, no, pretty low key through the next 15 days. Mid and upper 70s.
Yeah, so let's keep it there. Let's
low 80s.
Let's keep it there.
Once in a while, a mid 80.
All right, pal.
Not it.
Let's see. National Day today. I guess it'll be mild enough so you don't get too cold if you attend a bathtub party. It's National Bathtub Party Day today. There, keep a warm towel nearby. And that's it. I don't see anything delicious on the menu. I don't drink, so it's National Bartender Day. Well, you guys do the mixed drinks. Congrats. It's your day today. Have one on the house. All right. Call you next hour, pal. That's AccuWeather. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. And again, temperatures right now low, pretty much low. It's mid 50s. It's mostly low 50s across the area. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. More Texas news. There is a new pro-life law in Texas.
Texans can now sue people who mailed the abortion pill to mothers here under a first-of-its-kind law that went into effect this week. John Seago with Texas Right to Life says this will stop what has become a troubling trend.
Women taking these very dangerous pills in the privacy of their own home with no doctor oversight.
He says there's an estimated 19,000 orders of abortion pills coming to Texas each month, so the law, he says, will have a huge impact. The drug makers are also eligible to be sued, although women who take the abortion pills are not.
The biggest sport on the planet, that would be soccer, otherwise called football by others. It's a big day for them today as the World Cup 2026, they figure out their groups today.
The largest watch party in the state, no doubt, will be at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth. They're expecting perhaps 5,000 people. There'll be watch parties in Houston, in Austin, San Antonio, but maybe the most authentic is going to be at a pub in Addison, Texas, the Londoner.
We like to think of ourselves as like the official home of soccer in Dallas. We show all Premier League games, all Champions League games.
If Siobhan Holly doesn't sound like she's from around these parts, you're right. She grew up a soccer fan in England.
I can't believe that I moved like thousands of miles away and the World Cup's finally coming to like my doorstep, basically.
The draw takes place from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Billy Bob's, right? That better be a barbecue place. I wrote it down. I'm going to go check it out, Billy Bob's in North Texas. I don't think they're serving Italian food, pasta, or Mexican food, right? And speaking of pasta, watch out for those carbs. A doctor offering some education on maintaining a balanced meal, managing those carbs, especially during the holiday.
Cleveland Clinic registered dietitian Teresa Uri says a good rule of thumb is to fill half your plate with fruits and veggies, a quarter with whole grains, and a quarter with protein.
If we eat carbohydrates just by themselves, they tend to move out of our stomachs quicker, which makes you crave more and can also make you sleepy. So you incorporate the protein and you also add in a heart-healthy fat like an avocado.
She says some types of carbs are better than others, including getting them from fruits, whole grains, and starchy vegetables. She says foods like chips and pizza can spark more cravings. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Because it tastes so good. Double cheese, double pepperoni, and extra pineapple. Maybe some mushroom on there. Is any pizza joint open right now? We can call in a delivery. No. There really is no pizza right now, unless you go buy the frozen pizza, make it on your own, right? Stick it in the oven. Time is 7:14. This is the Valley's Morning News. Going to share with you a conversation I had with our Western Valley Congressman Henry Cuellar. A major portion of that conversation post-pardon. President Trump pardoning him this week. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic, available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This holiday season, we'd like to extend a big thanks to our family, friends, and customers. Whether you've been shopping Glick Twins all your life or just recently discovered us, you know we've got the very best selection of guns, knives, and scopes at the very best prices. Glick Twins is your go-to store for holiday shopping because behind the counter is the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff in all of South Texas. This Christmas season, be on the lookout for super specials on guns, scopes, knives, and clothing. From all of us at Glick Twins, Merry Christmas. This holiday season, we'd like to extend a big thanks to our family, friends, and customers. Whether you've been shopping Glick Twins all your life or just recently discovered us, you know we've got the very best selection of guns, knives, and scopes at the very best prices. Glick Twins is your go-to store for holiday shopping because behind the counter is the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff in all of South Texas. This Christmas season, be on the lookout for super specials on guns, scopes, knives, and clothing. From all of us at Glick Twins, Merry Christmas.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! Your Houston Texans visit the Kansas City Chiefs. Kickoff is 7:20 Sunday night on News Talk 710 KURV.
Big holiday parade, Christmas parade in McAllen that takes place tomorrow. After that, a month-long Christmas celebration at the campus there at the McAllen Convention Center. It's a South Pole of Texas illuminated experience, beautiful experience. So stick around. We'll give you a chance to win a family 4-pack. You're on 710 KURV. As I promised, here's the conversation with our Western Valley Congressman Henry Cuellar post-pardon. President Trump went to social media and said he is going to pardon our Western Valley Congressman Henry Cuellar. And he joins us now from D.C. I got to ask, Congressman, who asked for the pardon? Was that your office? Was that a friend? Was it somebody within the party? Someone in the Texas delegation? Who asked for the pardon? Who worked this?
You know, my two daughters love mom and dad very much, and they sent off a letter, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. And it looks like the president was moved by the letter that my two daughters, Christina and Catherine, wrote. And I certainly want to thank President Trump for looking at the facts and certainly for pardoning my wife and myself. I certainly want to thank God. You know, it's been difficult, and I don't wish this on nobody. You know, when prosecutors weaponize a situation, and, you know, I'll be releasing how many times I spoke against the Biden administration on open borders. I think it was over 150 times. Where I was very outspoken, and there were a lot of things, and I'll get into details later on. But, you know, right now, I just want to thank the president and certainly want to thank God for being with the family during this very difficult time. So it looks like open, clear skies and open road ahead in many ways.
Well, President Trump stated on his Truth Social as he was writing about you, and he pointed to that. Yes, he said this is political prosecution, and you were very vocal in your opposition to the open border mindset of the Biden administration, either Mr. Biden or whoever was running the Biden White House and just opening the border back then. Were you ever admonished or even warned by Biden himself or some minion of his that this was going to end up bad for you as a result of your opposition?
No, I didn't. You know, and I try to, you know, very straightforward. I try to work with the administration and say at the very beginning, say, hey, you know, I'm seeing this. This is not going to be. We're going to see a lot of people come to the border. You know, South Texas doesn't want this. Americans don't want to see this. You know, my father was born in Guerrero, Tamaulipas, became a legal resident. Naturalized citizen. He followed the path like a lot of us did, a lot of family members. They followed the path, but when they saw people just coming to the border and just jumping line, it was not right. And I try to tell that to the Biden administration, but, you know, I'll say this, they got some staff that were very arrogant, and when they said they were going to manage the flow into the U.S., not secure the border, I quote, manage the flow into the U.S., I said, boy, this is a different type of thinking. And that's why I was very critical, and now President Trump, has closed the border, by doing, again, very straightforward, what we saw in the past. President Obama did the same thing. You got whoever is supposed to come in, comes in. Whoever is not supposed to be in here, Sergio, should be deported. And that's what President Trump is doing, following the law. He's just following the law.
You said your daughter is about a couple weeks back, your adult daughters. They're the ones who put in that request. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit surprised it took that long and no one else tried to move this at the White House. Were you surprised? Did you know that your daughters did this, first of all? Were you surprised that the White House responded so quickly within 2 weeks?
Well, I certainly knew that my daughters were writing the letter, and I said, well, see what happens. You know how it is. You send something somewhere, and you never know where, what file it's going to end up. But the president took this to heart, listened to my daughters. Our daughters love Mom and Dad, and I'm certainly very appreciative, not only to them, but especially to President Trump. I want to thank him again, and I certainly want to, thank God, for being here with us during very difficult times.
When folks, and I'm sure a lot of folks nationwide, when they were hearing that national news on, the top of the hour broadcast and the news and radio, all that, they went looking for you. So I asked the interns in here, do a quick search. What is the internet? What does the internet say about Henry? Well, yes, it states you have voted against so-called abortion rights, the right to kill babies. Yeah, you're pro-life, and you've consistently vote that. That's how you are described. You have voted to prohibit men and boys and girls and women's sports. So you've stood up against that. Of course, controlled immigration, legal migration to the benefit of our nation. Working with law enforcement, Border Patrol for that. And, you are pro-fracking, pro-traditional energy, pro-oil, let's drill, baby, drill, especially in West Texas, Eagle Ford. Let's get American energy, which brings me to my next question. Did you receive my application to join the GOP? Because it sounds like you're a Republican, dude.
Well, I was talking to some of my Republican friends, and I said, I think I vote better than some of your Republican caucus members, which is true. Look, I'm one of those conservative Democrats, the old Democrats that were here many years ago, the Pete Laney's, the Bill Hobbies, the Bob Bullocks and all that, and very bipartisan. I'm very bipartisan. And if you recall, Sergio, a couple of years ago, I had the far left spend over $20 million. Yeah. Sanders, even Jane Fonda is still attacking me. I think it was a few months ago. I said, yeah, keep doing that. That helps me. And AOC and all that, they came after me because they said, quote, I was not a good Democrat. And, the thing is, who are they to say that they know South Texas better than I do? I'm not going to go into New York and tell them what I think. Let New York do what they want to do. And we saw what they, the election there recently. But in South Texas, we know each other. We understand the values. We understand what's important. And they spent $20 million against me. And it was interesting. Yesterday I got congratulated by Democrats and Republicans, but not too many of my liberal friends were there congratulating me.
No, they've been trying to take you out for the longest time. Funny you would say that Jane Fonda knows who you are, which really means nothing at the end of the day. But I found curious that President Trump, I think the closing comment from him on Truth Social was, Henry, I don't know who you are, but I want you and your wife to sleep well tonight. Your nightmare is over. I think he knows who you are. Trump administration, number one, you were joining Pelosi pushing back against the border wall, right? In the end, he got his border wall. In fact, he got like 42 billion For the border,
40, to be exact, 46.5.
Let's see. All right. So, you have any plans to meet with the president near future? Is there any call for you to go over there and have a sit down with him, a coffee?
Well, there is the traditional Christmas party.
Oh,
That's
okay.
certainly going to be there next week, and I certainly want to thank the president. I want to thank him in person, and I'm sure my family will be with me.
Yeah.
We all want to thank the president. He went through a very difficult time. He understands what weaponization is all about. I certainly know what weaponization is about, and we'll talk at a more appropriate time what this Biden DOJ did. And in fact, I want the House investigators to investigate some of those prosecutors, because they took some steps that I'll talk about later on that wasn't right. I'll say this: they even tried to entrap me, and it was, it failed, of course, because not a single witness, and we looked at all the testimony of the witnesses, not a single witness said quid pro quo, on the bribery and the other things. Not one single witness said quid pro quo. None of them said that. So therefore, they then tried an entrapment where they were trying to offer me money on it. So, it's a lot of things that we'll get into more detail at a more appropriate time.
And I recall conversation. I've been doing this 30 years now, and in all those years, many conversations with you going back. Man, I recall it was like 10 plus years ago. I remember you mentioning trips to Azerbaijan to help. And it was even during the Obama administration, if I remember correctly, back in 2013, 2014. Your push for more fracking in West Texas, and of course more energy opportunities with Azerbaijan. And of course, there was a lot of, and this was in my commentary at the outset. I saw it for what it was at the very beginning. There was a lot of pot, calling the kettle black thing, hypocrisy. The accusation, $600,000 in bribes, and you got a bank in Mexico, and the funnel the money to him, and said hardly any work was done or no work was done as far as consulting and all that. Well, excuse me, that's like a crumb size. You should know at the Biden White House, you got your son, crackhead son, working on a Ukrainian board, getting slaughtered. How many millions of dollars? And that dude doesn't know anything about that. Look, this needs to be fleshed out, Congressman.
Yeah, Sergio, look, I'm sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, we're going to flesh this out because the DOJ did what we call a speaking indictment. They just put all the facts, and I couldn't say anything. My attorneys kept saying, no, we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I saw the testimony. I saw the reports of the agents. I saw who gave some of the okays on this. And they, it was very curious that when the left was spending $20 million in that close primary that I had, $20 million will make any election close.
Yes.
I would tell you that they raided my house 40 days before an election. 40 days before election, they violated their rules on what they were supposed to do. And the reason that they did it, and I'll talk about it, had to do with the entrapment that failed. The entrapment that they tried to do on me, it failed. And again, they never sat down with us or with my attorneys, and my attorneys have been on the other side. And they say, this is kind of strange. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. If they would have talked to us, we would have said, hey, we got a legal opinion by a big law firm before any work was done, for my wife, because my wife wanted to do some work consulting. So I asked for a legal opinion, and I got that. I got 2 ethics opinions also. Now, do you think if we wanted to do something bad, that I would go to different attorneys and say, hey, give me a legal opinion, give me 2 ethics opinion? No, we were trying to comply by the law, and we did comply by the law, but they never wanted to sit down. They had an agenda.
Yeah.
They had an agenda. And that's the weaponization.
The full conversation with Congressman Henry Cuellar That is about 16 minutes long. The last portion of it was pre-Supreme Court decision on the new maps of Texas. And he comments, and look, you can go find that full conversation with Henry and his confidence and, his perspective on the race for Congress 28. He's still in the race. He's still a Democrat. I sent him the application. Oh, he didn't bite. Okay, so he might be running again after the primary if everything settles the way some expect it to. He might be running for Congress in 28 against a very popular Webb County former Democrat, now Republican candidate, the county judge in Webb County, Tano Tijerina. It's going to be a very interesting race. And now we know where the lines are drawn. So his comments on that. Go look for that video on 710KURV YouTube, 710KURV-X, and the Facebook page as well. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710KURV. And we'll take a look at sports up next. How'd the Cowboys do last night, huh? How'd the Cowboys do? No, you don't want to go there? Yeah, I got you. Sports next on the Valley's Morning News. You hungry this morning? The best way to take care of that gremlin in your belly, go to El Pato. You can order online, elpato.com. We had El Pato last night. Thursday seems to be a rather consistent El Pato night for us because it has Mama's favorite, the chicken guisado. Now, chicken guisado plate, the shredded chicken, just perfectly seasoned. Tiene los juguitos, has a little bit of that gravy. The rice, the Mexican rice. Mama likes the Mexican rice with it. What she does, she'll take the flour tortilla, nice and hot flour tortilla off the skillet, put some of that rice and some of the ranchero beans and the shredded chicken and the lettuce and tomato and the cheese that they put there on the side and make her own pato, her own burrito. It's good stuff. Oh, it goes down really good too. It's a wonderful thing about El Pato. I had the chalupato plate last night, which is the tostada, the chalupa with the refried beans, lettuce, tomato, wonderful tasting yellow cheese, nice and crunchy. That in the pato, the taco was the carne guisada, beef carne guisada. Oh my goodness, wonderful. Right now at every El Pato restaurant is those delicious pork tamales. I know you got several meetings to go to. Don't forget, show up as the hero. $9.99 a dozen hot, fresh pork tamales from every El Pato restaurant during the holiday season. See you there.
Football season is here, and it's time to fire up your backyard for the ultimate game day experience. Whether you're grilling for the family, friends, or the whole neighborhood, South Texas Outdoor Kitchens has everything you need to be the MVP of the barbecue season. Stoke is the premier barbecue supply headquarters in the RGV, and you can get game day ready with a new barbecue pit, smoker, pellet grill, or pizza oven, and stock up on your charcoal, pellets, spices, and supplies. And while you're here, visit our sister store, Backyards Unlimited, which has everything from Tree Frog's big redwood swing sets and play systems to spring-free trampolines and rival basketball hoops. And remember, all play systems have free delivery and installation. Don't wait. Get here now because we're offering special financing with 0% interest for 18 months. That's right, no interest for 18 months. Visit Stoke and Backyards Unlimited today on the expressway across from the Shrine in San Juan. Or click BURGV.com. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens, your premier barbecue headquarters in the RGV.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potomac app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Dallas Cowboys were able to put up points, but the defense couldn't hold the Lions as Detroit took the win 40-30 last night. Dallas had a slow first half offensively as they were only able to settle for field goals, while Detroit established their ground game early on with 2 rushing touchdowns before halftime. The Cowboys would turn things around in the third with this touchdown pass to Ryan Flournoy, making it a 3-point game.
Back to throw, good protection. Deep down the right side, Flournoy all alone. 15-10. Walk your puppy dog into the end zone.
The defense would go on to let the game slip away by allowing the Lions to reach the end zone on both of their next 2 drives. The defense did have a few bright spots, however, with 4 players with tackles for loss, but only 1 sack. It was also an interesting game for Dak Prescott, with him throwing for 376 yards, but also 2 interceptions. The loss takes a large chunk out of Dallas's playoff chances, as the Cowboys are back to 10th in the NFC behind Carolina and Detroit in the hunt. Jet Nelson, TSN Sports.
I think it was Cesar Aguirre from McAllen Bolt, right? When we did the preview, he had mentioned some of the numbers, like the Cowboys there was a 30+% chance they would enter the playoffs had they won last night. And I think it went down like 9 or 10% now. So, wow. AccuWeather says highs for today should be mid-60s. We start the morning temperatures low 50s across the valley. Border Bridge wait times, as posted on KURV.com. 40-45 minutes at Ansalduas. Same thing at Hidalgo, about 30-40 minutes at the Far Bridge. And if you're driving back to Brownsville, good morning, Brownsville. Good morning to Starbase. It's busy, 30 to 45 minutes at all 3 major bridges for Brownsville. Business news and a check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. And in about 10 minutes, it's Movie Mom Nell Minow with FNAF 2, Five Nights at Freddy 2. Right, Freddy? Oh, no. Oh, that's right. She's a weenie. She doesn't like scary movies. So we'll have to talk about something else with Movie Mom in about 10 minutes on the Valley's Morning News.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic, available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Everything I'll mention to you here, you can get information, very specific details at KubotaUSA.com. JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment, home to all that wonderful Kubota equipment, will help you get the job done with, for example, the compact tractors from Kubota and all those attachments, chopping up stuff or maybe putting some fencing out there, push some earth. Yeah, Kubota compact tractors, #1 in the nation. Kubota L Series that you'll find at Amigo Power Equipment is the #1 selling compact tractor in the nation and designed for easy operation. As I mentioned, all those attachments that do all various different chores and tasks. Right now at Amigo Power Equipment, you can get select Kubota equipment, 0% financing if you qualify, or you could save up to $6,000. You choose. And this special on financing and the savings is available now to the end of the year, end of the month. So stop by and visit with JP and Jeff today at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
The eternal struggle. Too hot? Too cold? Forget about it. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC will make your home a true Goldilocks zone. Don't bear it alone when your fairy tale home feels like a nightmare gone wrong. Mighty Mike is your shining hero who will save the day with service that's not too early, not too late, but just right. Call Mighty Mike at 956-686-1353 or visit callmightymike.com. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC.
Get it right. Call Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Just one call to solve it all.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen 956-368-5247. That's drt'sprimarycare.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Shares of More Threads soared by more than 400% on its debut in Shanghai following its $1.1 billion listing. Its IPO come as Beijing pushes domestic GPU makers despite U.S. sanctions limiting access to advanced manufacturing. Costco will add Gina Raimondo to its board of directors. Raimondo previously served as Commerce Secretary in the administration of former President Biden. Costco last week sued the Trump administration, seeking to recoup money it has paid to satisfy legally disputed tariffs imposed this year by President Trump. Ulta Beauty stock popped after it posted third quarter earnings that easily beat expectations. The retailer also hiked its profit and sales outlook for the second straight quarter. Many consumers have kept spending on beauty, even as they watch their dollars on other discretionary categories. Futures are slightly higher. Thursday, the Dow Industrials lost 31, the NASDAQ up 51, S&P 500 up 7. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today, mid-upper 60s, nice and fresh. Lows tonight in the mid-upper 50s, very nice. Saturday, mid-70s. Sunday, mid-80s, nice and warm. And then back to low 70s, upper 60s on Monday for highs. Thank you for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. And what's new at the box office that is not Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF 2. Because, you know, movie mom, no, she doesn't like scary movies, so she didn't see that. She wouldn't see stuff. Oh, she's already online. She's coming up in about 4 minutes on the Valley's Morning News.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile-long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters, is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
On behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb, the McCaleb Funeral Home Clan in Westaco, Texas. Love this family. They are pillars in our community. 60 plus years they've been loving on Valley families at the time of loss and separation. Only the Lord knows that date on everybody's calendar, but I know this is very heavy stuff for breakfast, but it's like life insurance, right? But I need to remind you to get it done. My mom and dad, many years before the Lord called them home, they sat down and they pre-planned and they prepaid that funeral event. And as an only son, when that time came and I needed just to sit there and reflect and pray and just, it made a world of difference not to be stressed about all the planning and arrangements and decisions and yes, the payment for that as well. So it's a very loving thing to do for your immediate family, pre-plan, prepay. They come to you, Mark or Carla or somebody from the McCaleb clan. They'll come to you. Brownsville, Harlingen, McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh area. They'll sit down with you and get it done. Put it on the shelf and wait on the Lord. That's the way it works. Pre-plan, prepay. Here's the number to call. Carla McCaleb specifically. Call or text her at 956-650-2841.
Power, performance, and savings. The Coyote year-end clearance event is on now at Rivetta's Machinery in Donna. For more than 50 years and 3 generations, the Rivetta families proudly served the Rio Grande Valley, and today they continue that tradition with Coyote, the name trusted for power, reliability, and value. Right now, they're clearing out Coyote tractors, zero turns, utility vehicles, and compact construction equipment, all at incredible year-end savings. From the small but mighty 21 horsepower models all the way up to the brand new 140 horsepower Coyote HX 1402, they have the right machine for every job and every budget. And with financing as low as 0% interest and zero down payment with approved credit, there's never been a better time to join the Rivetta's family. Go see why generations of hardworking Texans choose Rivetta's for tractors, equipment, and service that go the distance. Visit them on Expressway 83 in Donna between Hutto and Valverde Roads. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's another finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, top news talk radio producer for all of Texas. And I know talk radio for Texas. I know what Fred is. We got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina and movie mom Nell Minow, just seconds away. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Blockbuster, $72 billion entertainment deal. The media company that delivered the Superman and Harry Potter franchises being sold to a streaming giant. Netflix agrees to buy Warner Brothers Discovery's TV studios and its streaming division, but the deal requires regulatory approval.
You're talking about
potentially a very anti-competitive environment on the streaming side of the industry with Netflix. Paramount Global, that wasn't as much of a concern if they had taken over Warner Brothers Discovery versus Netflix. So I have to wonder if we're going to see this deal approved.
Cheryl Casoni, the Fox Business Network, 30-year-old Brian Cole set to make his first court appearance this afternoon. The feds say he planted a pair of pipe bombs at the DNC and RNC headquarters January 5th of 2021. America's listening to Fox News.
The city of McAllen is taking legal action against a nighttime establishment called Knox Nightclub for allegedly serving alcohol to a group of minors before a deadly weekend crash in McAllen on Bicentennial this past holiday weekend. An 18-year-old woman is facing intoxication, manslaughter, and other charges connected to that crash. And the club has reportedly been cited multiple times for allowing underage drinking. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. And every Friday at this time, we got Mom, movie Mom. No, let me open up the page so that way I can see how beautiful Mom is again. Let me refresh the page. There she is. Okay. And I guess I'm going with Mom this weekend, Freddie. I'm going with Mom to the movies. Yeah, because guaranteed solid 2-hour nap with snacks, because she buys the snacks all the time. Because I know she didn't go see FNAF 2, Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm trying to get, he's still asleep. Noah, my older one, he went to see it last night, Thursday feature, and he's asleep. I've been asking, hey boy, is it better than the first one? Is it scarier? Is it what? And he's still asleep. So I'll have to get that review later on, maybe on the show. Okay, Mom. So let's see. I'll go take a nap, and I'm going to ignore HimNet because I see it's listed nowhere in South Texas. But Merrily We Roll Along is at the AMC Theater. So let's start there, Mom.
Well, if you're a fan of Broadway musicals, that's the movie for you to see this week. It's about a group of friends, 3 friends who have made some bad choices in their life. And what makes this different, aside from the fact that it's a musical, it's a Broadway show, it's filmed on a stage, is that it goes backwards. So we see them as the results of these bad choices. And then each scene is earlier and earlier until finally we see them in their 20s when they're optimistic and they've got these great, strong friendships and they think nothing can ever stop them. Daniel Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff star in it. It got a lot of success on Broadway. So if you're a fan of Broadway musicals, take a look at that. Stephen Sondheim did the music. You can't beat that. Fackham Hall is a parody, scary movie style of sort of the prestige period dramas like Downton Abbey. I didn't like it very much. We got a Kill Bill double feature. Now I did go see that, and I'm a fan. It's probably my favorite Tarantino movie. But let me just put it this way. Nobody wants to compete with Zootopia, which is definitely going to be number 1 again this week. We got other choices on streaming, and the only reason I want you to take a look at Michelle Pfeiffer's new movie, Oh What Fun, on Amazon is to tell me if I'm right that it's a terrible Texas accent. She's supposed to be a Houston housewife. She sounds a lot more North Carolina or Georgia to me, but you see what you think. And see about the accents in this movie. So she plays a mom who's feeling neglected on Christmas. I found her a totally unsympathetic character because all she cares about is whether she can win the best holiday mom prize on a TV show like Oprah. Forget about it. And then a movie I loved, Jay Kelly on Netflix with George Clooney, a big stretch for him as an actor. He's playing a very, very successful actor in late middle age who's thinking back on his life. I thought it was just a terrific movie. Great performance by Adam Sandler as his manager, Laura Dern as his publicist, and no bad Texas accents in that one. And it did make me think that Michelle Pfeiffer and George Clooney did star together in early days. They were in a very sweet romantic comedy called One Fine Day, so maybe check that out. And next week, we've got Ella McKay from the same guy who did Terms of Endearment and Broadcast News, and it's a very similar kind of film. Wake Up Dead Man, the latest in the Knives Out, is coming to Netflix next week. But the one I'm dying to talk to you about is Song Sung Blue, based on the true story of a husband and wife who were a Neil Diamond tribute band starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. I've been listening to Neil Diamond all week after watching that movie.
Oh my goodness, Mom. Okay. No, I'm not going with you on that one. That's okay. Yeah, all the snacks I eat, they probably start coming up. Oh, maybe the whole bad Texas accent. You never know, Mom. Maybe they took that out in the final cut. She was a Georgia transplant, and wound up in Houston.
You tell me what you think about her accent.
I don't have an accent, right, Freddie? It's normal, right? Just normal English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I grew up.
And you know, my son-in-law is from San Antonio. He doesn't have an accent either.
Yeah, no, we speak American around here in Texas. All right, and you mentioned Friends, the musical, right? Friends who made some bad choices.
Yeah.
They should make a musical about us, like Freddie, yours truly, everybody else working news radio. Make
Absolutely.
some bad career choices. That'd be very entertaining. Hug and a kiss, Mom. Have a wonderful weekend. Movie Mom, Nell Minow, every Friday on 710 KURV. Make a call to an outfit, top experts in commercial roofing systems in the entire region. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Look at that. It's in the name. I've been telling you. Waterproof that commercial roofing system with Chamberlain. ChamberlainLTD.com is a website. Take a look at the vast menu of all the services they provide. Waterproofing, caulking services on joints, joint sealants, water repellents and blasting, membrane waterproofing, damp proofing, that plus so much more. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing would like to go visit you at your commercial site, shake hands, look you right in the eye, and give you an honest assessment and an expert assessment, free assessment. What's going on with your commercial roof? You don't know? You better call Chamberlain. That way you can make some good decisions in the near future. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, keep you waterproof. Make sure that water doesn't come down and ruin operations. Cutting edge roof installation and repair technology. Advanced waterproofing solutions. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, 956-655-6178.
Save more with the #1 team in Burlington Buick GMC in Edinburgh. Take advantage of amazing savings and drive a new Sierra 1500 for just $139 a month. You heard right, $139 a month during the big year-end closeout. Plus, ask how you can make no payments for 90 days. We know who's #1. You, our valued customer. Come see Billy Kelly and his amazing team in Edinburgh today. We shop the competition so you don't have to at the #1 team in Texas. Burlington Buick GMC in Edinburgh. Official sponsors of UT RGV football. GMC, we are professional grade.
The only thing between you and your best self is a start button. This Cyber Monday, explore the world with Nordic Track. From the peaks of Peru to the streets of Paris, every workout moves you somewhere new with iFit trainers leading the way. The equipment's amazing, smooth, quiet,